Hey, everybody, it's Teepa. And this month, we're talking about time awareness, that hippocampal area that really allows us to keep up with the passage of time. But how do human beings develop a sense of time? We don't start off that way at all. So, as an infant, when you first come out, you're here and it just sort of happens. I mean, you live truly as an infant, you live in the moment. And what you're horribly reliant on is this other and whatever to keep you going. I mean, because you only have the ability to do very limited things. I mean, you have so little really going for you. It's a good thing you're sort of apparently cute to the thing that brought you around and is spending a lot of their time and energy and time awareness, figure out how to help you. So when you first are out, you really live in the moment. I mean, so if whatever is happening in that moment with you and with the environment is pleasurable, you produce chemicals. And so what we're working on initially is intake, throughput, output, intake, throughput, output. So we do it over and over again. And at first, these are really short cycles. And so the being that is taking care of you is having to deal with all this, and you fit into their time slot. And so, wow, you take up a lot of time, but then they still have to do the other things around or figure out a way to do that to maintain their own well-being so they can continue to care for you. And they have to sort of work out the timing of all that. Otherwise, you let them know that you don't like this. You don't want, you have a need, you have a want. And the way you do that is you become stressed and then distressed. And it's by learning to pay attention to you and pick up on your cues and clues that we know is what you're looking for. Input is what you're looking for, more an activity kind of thing, a brain social activity, or more of a physical doing activity. Is it output? Do you need output? Do you have to output something? Do you, instead of that, do you actually, is it something different? Is it something that is uncomfortable and you can't even, it's uncomfortable? Or are you comfortable? Because when you're comfortable, wow, I'm really glad you're comfortable, because when you're comfortable, guess who else is? And heaven forbid you show us that you've gone from uncomfortable to pain. And so these two things over here are a way, discomfort and pain are a way you signal to us that your environment, or your internal or external environment, is not working for you right then. Now, the person who's supporting you has to try to figure out, okay, well, what would make this better? Do you need a different kind of movement? Do you need stillness? Do you need intake? I mean, are you having problems with output? Is it a throughput issue, or it's come out and you don't like it? So at first, you're not really aware of time as a passing thing. You're aware of moments of time. And then what starts happening, and if you're liking those moments, then we're all cool. If you're not liking those moments and we don't figure out what it is that you're not liking about those moments, then we're going to move to, you have an unmet want. And then that want becomes a need. And that's when it goes, that unmet need goes from being uncomfortable to painful for you. Whether it's a physical need, an emotional, a social, a spiritual, whatever it is, it's not working for you. And so that means it's not working for me either. If I'm the one that's in the same space and trying to figure it out, I become distressed. So if we keep that in mind, that's about time awareness. And we have an infant who's not aware of the passage of time. They don't know that it's the middle of the night. They don't know that you just did that. No, it's not time to eat again. I mean, so we're trying to figure them out because they aren't us. They're the other. And so our mission, our goal is to figure out, okay, what do they like, want, need? And how do I fit that into a schedule? And then what do I like, want, and need? And how do these things come together? And do we need help? Do we need a third or fourth or fifth party? I mean, any new parent sort of gets this. But then we sort of forget this when it comes to a brain changing in another direction or a brain being different. And I have a hard time figuring you out because your brain is just different than mine. And that's often a case where we are not all the same when it comes to time and patterns of time and circadian, how we spend our time and what kind of time we need or like or want in certain aspects of living. Excuse me. So it's really important when something comes up like I swallowed in an interesting way. I had extra saliva and I didn't swallow in time because I was busy talking. I had to pause. Now, it wasn't a full stop, but there was a pause and I had to do something about that. Because I realized continuing to do what I was doing, it's not smart. It's not safe. So I have to time my swallowing and my drinking and my breathing and my eating. I mean, this all is complicated. So what I start to develop is a sense of an experience, from a moment to an experience. So I know when I have finished swallowing, so I know I can take a breath of air. When I finish my breath of air, that's when I can take a drink. But before I take the drink, I have to take my hand, reach out, find it with my eyes, pick it up with my hand, bring it up, this whole thing of living is incredibly complicated. And so we have all these different parts of our brain that work together with our body and work together with the environment around us to provide us with this sequence. And so now we are starting to learn the art of the sequencing. So when I do this and I do this and I do this, and then I finish this, and then I transition to the next thing I'm going to do. And it's built layer by layer by layer. So I know when I go in the bedroom and I see these things that they're my clothes. I recognize them. And I recognize the underclothes from the overclothes. I recognize the clothes that go on my upper body from the ones that go on my lower body. I recognize I've got a sock on one foot, so I actually need the sock on the other foot. I realize, and then we build it into a pattern. So I wear these clothes when I'm going to do this. I wear those clothes when I'm going to do that. Let's say sleep versus be up and about, or go to work versus stay at home, or I'm going to paint something versus I'm going to speak in front of a group. So I make different choices in how I spend my time based on how time fits into other things. And then what starts happening is I start knowing and feeling like, when is this a good flow and when is this not? When does this really work well for me? And it creates a pattern over the course of 24 hours, circadian awareness, that I feel satisfied, that I feel productive, that I feel healthy and well in my brain, in my body, in my spirit, that I'm restored, that I'm ready to do this again. And that I'm caring for that which is around me, so it will be available to me. So I'm caring for my living space, my people, my team, my group, those in my life. I'm caring for the world, the plants, the car, the home, the neighborhood, the workplace. Wow, this gets big. And then there's dementia. Oh, wait. Because sometimes we don't do things very often. And so how long has it been since, and when do I need to start? So how long will it take? And then what have I done? What have I not done? How long has it been since I did some of those self-care activities? How long has it been since I had some fun? How long has it been since I saw somebody? How long has it been since I slept? How long? See, it's all really important. And yet it's this thing we do, and each of us develops our very own sense of time and passage of time and awareness of time. And some people are like not so aware, and some people are super aware of time. And this is where it gets a little complicated when we start talking about brains that are different or brains that are changing. because now all of a sudden, whatever my pattern is, whatever my habit is, whatever my sense, and it comes from a very deep place in the brain. Because when I start to notice I'm not liking or I do like, and then I have to figure out, how do I put that in? Or how do I get this out? Or how do I switch gears? And how do I transition? And how much can I fit? And have I put too much in there? What do I let go of so that I can still? And I'm doing it not just for me, but in a care situation, I might be doing it for one other person, or in a community, I might be doing it for multiple people. It's called scheduling, or figuring out a schedule. And the thing I sort of almost said and then paused on, some things we don't do very often. I pay taxes, like create an advance directive for ourselves, like do things like home maintenance, changing filters, doing the smoke alarm. So then I have to figure out a way to cue myself, because I just don't do them that often. Or maybe I never did them. They weren't mine. They were someone else's. And hence we get to, you've been living your own life and I've been living mine for a long time. And wow, I'm trying to figure out how to build a schedule that works for you. It works for me. And we can both work together to get somewhere. And one of us might very well be changing our sense of time. Not as easy as it sounds, is it? But if we look at it this way, it might help us be more tuned into, if the person I'm supporting is only living in moments, I've got to do more work around creating this pattern where those moments have value. But I need to realize that the moments are what matters, not the whole experience. If it's the experience, then I have to figure out, how do we transition? If it's the experience and the transition, how do I build a day that has this routine to it, this familiarity, so there's a nice flow? How do I recognize if there's a time of the day that things are not working? Do I need to go back and look behind and figure out, how did we get here? Or do I need to look at that time and say, wow, wonder what's triggering all this? What's the unmet like, want, or need? Or what's the thing that I'm missing or they're missing? So this month is all about time awareness. And I'm aware I've spent a fair amount of time. I hope it's been spent well. And what I've offered is something that might be helpful as you think about the changing brain and their changes and your changes, and how we're going to put the puzzle together. Anticipate, prepare, initiate, ask and seek participation, and then evaluate, and then figure out how you're going to transition. Because time is about a sequence, and the passage of time, and the awareness of the passage of time, and my ability to put my history together and my present together and my future. Wow, it gets a little complicated, especially when I'm trying to do it for more than me. Or the person in front of me is changing, and I'm trying to figure out, make sure I'm being supportive for both of us, and thinking far enough ahead that I don't get caught in the moment, and I'm not looking to what might be there, and doing some planning ahead there, so that I know if it happens, I'm more prepared. All right, everybody, till next time, take care with care. And if you have questions, do you have an issue that you want to talk about, come and check us out. I mean, we have so many places and spaces where we're happy to connect and explore, because that's really what it's all about. We have a relationship and we're really curious, and we're compassionate and authentic. And our goal is to empower. So may you be empowered. Take care. Hi, I'm Tifa Snow, and you just found our YouTube channel and watched one of our videos. I'm the owner and founder of Positive Approach to Care. Thanks for watching. And if you liked, if you have a comment about, or you would, please share it with people you know. Oh, and if you haven't yet done it, consider subscribing. We'll let you know when the next new video comes out. And you might want to visit our website, www.tifasnow.com, where you'll find other resources as well. See you there.